Things I lost in the divorce, a tether to time. And I mean that in the way of like a sense of a universal clock. I was talking to somebody yesterday about, she presented this to me in a way that I've never thought about it before, that we, people who get periods, from the moment that we get our period, we track time. Like, we feel time differently than people who don't. And there's just sort of like a knowing, and that really hit me because I don't have a lot of the traditional markers of what it looks like to be a certain age, and a lot of that, those have been active choices that I've made, right? While knowing that time is passing, I have chosen certain ways of living my life or directions that I wanted to move in that I knew would move me further away from some things and closer to others, but always aware of the timing. And being single now at 43, I feel like there is a certain amount of pressure from certain people saying, oh, well, you gotta find the next person, you gotta find the next thing, you gotta figure out what you want to do, you gotta start the next phase, because like, how much time do you have? And I'm like, oh no, it's actually the opposite. I now feel like any pressure that existed on me in my 20s, in my 30s, to be rushing towards something is off. All of it's off. I have all the time in the world, and I am so aware that all it is a mindset shift. Nothing has actually changed other than my, relationship status and financial situation. A lot of things have actually changed, but the actual timing of the universe has not changed, but my ability to exist in the flow of it has. And I'm not in a rush for anything, because what is mine will find me. And there's literally no way that it's going to find me while I still have processing and healing to do. It's going to give me the space to do that first. And in one of my favorite, there's a letter that John Steinbeck wrote to his son that ends with, nothing good gets away. And I'm very much living in that space now. Like, if the right thing finds me, it will be here when I'm ready. And if it gets away, it wasn't mine to start with. Nothing good gets away. I don't know if that all, but it did here. I've talked about this before. Driveway moment, one last thing, about to close the door and then handle on the doorknob. I've talked about this before. I'm pretty sure it's in the aging playlist. My parents' best friends when I was growing up, they were basically like an aunt and uncle to me, closer than my aunts and uncles because they lived closer and were around all the time, but they didn't have kids, and so I very much had an example of what that looked like when I was growing up. And then he passed away too young, and that felt devastating because she was even younger than him. And I was like, oh, what is she going to do now? She went out and she kept living her life, and she found a second love and a whole second life. And she didn't rush herself into that. She just kept living, and then she found it. So it's also like, how many metaphors can I give? When you're decorating your space, and people always ask about like my shelves and things, and like, how do you have so much stuff on your shelves and where do you get all of the things? And it's like, you don't intentionally go out and get the things. You don't go to Home Goods and TJ Maxx and like buy things to put on the shelf to fill the space. You live a life, and then through living a life you have things, and then you display your things, and that is how your space is infused with your personality and your life. And does it take time? Yeah. Slow process, but that's how it gets good. Okay. More I don't know how many winding circles we went in, but coffee thoughts.